So I had breastfed my other babies reasonably problem free, so expected this to go the same way, but it didn't. um, he was born early and needed time in special care, and with COVID rules as well, there were limitations around direct breastfeeding and skin to skin. Um, so then we found out baby had tongue tie, and all sorts of things kept popping up. So initially, I was very disappointed. We were told that we would have to formula feed, which I was quite shocked about and quite upset. And for a couple of days, went with the flow, kind of trying to figure this out. And then I spotted an amazing nurse supporting another mum in a very similar situation to breastfeed, and I was like, right, I need to get hold of that nurse. She's the best. She'll tell us if there's any way around this. So the next day we approached this nurse and was like, I know you're not our nurse, but is there any way you could spend some time with us? And she was absolutely, she went over backwards to help us. She taught me how to express. She gave us so many little tips, and she was just so helpful, so supportive. And actually, we could breastfeed, and we did breastfeed, but we needed to express a lot. So I ended up pumping and giving breast milk via a bottle, which was hard work, which was challenging, but it was it meant that he was able to have my milk, which was the main thing.
Of feeding with our premature baby was that of support. Really, they he was given like a formula while he was in special care. So it was a little bit challenging, like for mum to when she wanted to breastfeed, which you need to push for if you are in hospital in special care. That is something that you can do and should do regardless. So that's something you need to really push for. It's really important for mum and baby to establish that from the get-go. And I mean, in our scenario it didn't happen for various reasons, but we my partner and the baby, they did get there, they did form a latch. It's all trial and error, really. My partner obviously was not getting very much sleep, and baby would cry because being hungry or not quite forming that latch. But for me, it was a lot about supporting mum in order to support the baby. And you'll get sleep one day, but it's just a matter of bearing that in mind. You do not want to be snoring whilst your wife is having challenge of breastfeeding.
Again, being baby number 5, I thought we'd kind of perfected the sleep kind of skills and things, but no, he had other ideas, and doesn't really like sleep even now at 22 months. So I think the initial challenges was around the feeding, because he was feeding at least every hour for several months. And then he was kind of the same through the day. So it was all connected with the feeding. I think one of the biggest tips I would give is to just do what works for you, because so many people give advice, so many people, and it can lead to you feeling bad if what you're trying and what they're suggesting isn't working for you. You're thinking, well, why is it working for them and it's not working for me? So we still have adjusted sleep patterns. So we have me and baby in together. Daddy is on the sofa, but which obviously isn't ideal, and we don't want that to happen forever. But it at least means we can both get some sleep. The other tip we noticed was music. Franklin really settles well if there's music playing. Not so much now, but when he was younger, that's not so much needed now. I suppose the most important thing that I kind of would say is to just remember it doesn't last forever. Um, and things do improve. He's not, sleeping completely through the night now, but is so much better, so much better. And when you're in the thick of it, you can just think, oh, this is going to go on forever. I'm never going to sleep again. But that's not going to happen.
Like on the whole, if I was to give any advice, I'd say you basically do your best, and if you're not coping, find the support. Um, as I've sort of said before, a checklist, just get a checklist in your mind of what, go through the motions, and it just gives you peace of mind, of where you're going with the baby, like where they're at. Keep an eye on their sleeping, and support each other as best you can. Um, like really, if as a dad, just try and put yourself in that place. Obviously, if you're there at the birth, then you know what they go through. So you've got to really kind of put yourself in that supportive role.